Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel and a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. You know, they say you can't judge a film by the title, but sometimes the title includes the character name, so you can kind of judge it by a little bit, just a little bit. And this week, we're doing just that. We're talking about movies where the title features one of the characters' names. And here to join me, someone whose name is not in the title of the show, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
Which is completely unfair because I wish for a podcast called A Very Carrie Movie.
Well, it's we're not calling it Carrie Watch Pass.
Because that's like the tagline to most of It's Not That Bad movies.
All right.
A Very Carrie Movie.
Here's what we're going to do. I want to put this out there, all right? Here's what we're going to do. Call to action time, all right? I want to see if this is going to happen, okay? I'm going to post this episode link out there on the interwebs, on social media, at Not That Badcast. And if this episode post gets more than 100 likes combined across all social media platforms, I will put into our merch section that can be found on our website, notthatbadcast.com, a Very Carrie Movie shirt that you can purchase. But I'm gonna be counting. I'm going to be counting 100 likes across all social media platforms of this episode's post.
Let's hit that like button, friends. Make it happen.
All right. So the gauntlet has been dropped. A Very Carrie Movie t-shirt will hit the merch store if and only if 100 likes across all social media platforms. I have to keep it in perspective because no one watches or listens to this show. So 100, I think, is a very fair number.
Now I'm going to have to create 100 different handles, 99 at least, and
let's see who liked this. At CarriePod1, at CarriePod2, at CarriePod3, at CarriePod4, and so on and so forth.
Sing a theme here.
And your parents. Okay, cool.
Wow, we're big in Toronto.
They all came from the GTA. I don't understand. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick 3 films where the character name is in the title each. A keep, a watch, and a pass. The keep, as you know, is always a movie that we hold in absolute high regard. The watch is one that, you know what? It's not that bad at all. And the pass is one that maybe they should, Alan Smithy, the title. All right, Carrie, over to you. What's your keep pick?
Well, I can't be any more obvious with this pick unless it were called Trouble at Hogwarts. I'm going to go with Harry Potter himself.
Basic bitch.
You never saw that coming.
Okay, but which one?
Oh, well, I mean, they're all
No,
Harry Potter.
You got to pick one. You got to
Oh.
pick one keep.
Well, okay.
This is going to give you an opportunity to talk about some of the other films in the franchise. So there's 8 of them. Which one are you talking about today?
I gotta go with the original. I'm gonna go with the Philosopher's Stone. You know what? It was a time of innocence and fun, and when, the Harry Potter Golden Trio were young and light, and then it just gets darker and darker, as with the Warner Brothers opening getting darker and darker.
You say it's light, but let's see here. You have the unjustified stabbing of a troll up the nose with a wand. You have the complete obliteration of an entire chess set.
But think about it. It was the time when Voldemort had a nose.
And the complete ruining of our CGI expectations of what Quidditch could look like. Because it got better. But Quidditch in that film kind of looked like the PlayStation 1 Quidditch. Or PlayStation 2 Quidditch, at least. Now, it was okay. But it was also a long time ago. So I get it. I understand. I personally prefer some of the later Harry Potter films. But that's just because the technology got better. The stories were more involved. The characters were already developed. And you had more gravitas to the story.
Would you really pick the final?
I wouldn't pick the final movies. I think if you had to, and we talked about this a long time ago on like the second ever episode, I think it was, of Keep Watch Pass when we did Harry Potter films. The first one's okay. Like it's a good watch film. It builds the world nicely. It's a great introduction to, of course, like the original trilogy of characters. The Order of the Phoenix may be the best film of them all. Personal opinion.
Oh, The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban, yeah. Goblet of Fire. I don't mind the Goblet of Fire, but it's a horrible waste of a perfectly good David Tennant.
The Deathly Hallows, though, again, as I had mentioned, it just becomes plotting.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like, and again, I know I've said this, and no disrespect to The Lord of the Rings, but it becomes a chase movie.
I get it.
And it's just like, okay, get on with it. I mean, the final Battle of Hogwarts was brilliant.
Yeah. But no, the middle section, I would say 3, 5, and 6 are your best Harry Potter films. But there's a charm to 1 as well. All right. Last episode, I talked about some rules where if someone says something, you have to then turn around and say something in return. Call an answer, right? So if someone says bad guy, you go, duh. If someone says DuckTales, you go, woohoo. However, I'm going to add that list of call and answer rules. So if someone says Flash, your only response can be, savior of the universe. I'm talking about Flash freaking Gordon. I unironically love this film so much. Like, this was on the movie channels when I was, but a wee child, getting close to like 8, 9 years old. And I recognize a lot of the blue screen, green screen work doesn't hold up necessarily today. But oh my God, this film captured my childhood heart and I still hold it to this day. I remember having the Flash Gordon soundtrack on vinyl done by Queen. And there were a lot of movie clips on the album as well. So I would just, if I didn't have the VCR, if I didn't have the VHS, if I didn't rent it from the store, then I would just sit in the corner in my chair by my stereo, headphones on, listening to the soundtrack and the scenes from the film over and over. I freaking love Flash Gordon. The set work in this film is great. Max von Sydow as Ming the Merciless. Chef's kiss villainy. A very young Timothy Dalton's in this. Brian Blessed. Bless his heart. Every scene and every line of dialogue is a buffet and he pulled up the chair to the table with a fork in one hand and a freaking ladle in the other and came to dine. Brian Blessed makes me smile every time he's on the screen in this film. He's so cheese glory. It's fantastic. And it actually has in it Ornelia Muti, who you'll remember as the wife of Snaps Provolone in Oscar, starring Sylvester Stallone. So I'm flashing back because unfortunately we cannot talk about Flash Gordon. We can't. I'm going to ask you this. I'm curious your thoughts on this film because I can't remember if you've seen it or not. I can't remember if I've subjected you to this film or not. And if I did you stay awake during it?
I do recall seeing it. In fact, I remember when we were watching it, I was like, this must qualify. And you're like, nope, it does not.
So I will tell you, it does not qualify. I'm going to ask you, knowing what you know about this film, what do you think the tomatometer sits at? In this year of our podcast, 2025, what do you think the Flash Gordon tomatometer sits at?
Ooh, well, knowing it doesn't qualify.
Keeping it's, a little on the cheesy side.
Is it in the 70s?
Is
that high?
Let me give you a hint.
60?
The popcorn meter sits at 69%.
Yeah.
Your tomatometer guess.
75.
83%.
Wow.
I can't even make up multiple accounts enough to be able to downvote this thing. It is pure joy on screen. And if you have not watched Flash Gordon, you must go watch Flash Gordon. It should be required viewing to anyone who listens to this show because it makes me smile. There are times when you watch a film as a kid and you remember watching a film as a kid and you're like, this is the greatest movie at the time. Then you go back and you watch it as an adult and you're like, I was a dumbass kid. I could watch Flash Gordon today and still have that insane, stupid grin on my face because it's Flash freaking Gordon.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Out here, there's no one way of doing things. No unwritten rules. And no shortage of adventure. Because out here, the only requirement is having fun. Bank of America invites kids 6 to 18 to golf with us. For a limited time, sign them up for a free 1-year membership, giving them access to discounted tee times at thousands of courses. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/golf with us. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Restrictions apply. See BofA.com/golf with us for complete details. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
For my watch pick, I'm going to go with one that is based on actual events, but the cast in this film is A-grade Oscar caliber cast. Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Amy Adams, Ned Beatty, Emily Blunt, Cherie Appleby, and Rachel Nichols. I'm talking about Charlie Wilson's War. Now, Tom Hanks plays Congressman Charlie Wilson, who at the time was very heavily involved with trying to get the Mujahideen to help fight the Afghan-Russian war, basically a proxy war. At this point, they were arming the Mujahideen, they were arming the Afghans in order to be able to push the Russians back. This, of course, is all during Cold War time in the 80s. And the ending of this film because we know how history plays out. The ending of this film leaves you with this pit in your stomach because the Americans pull out their international aid funding in order to help rebuild Afghanistan. And unfortunately, we know what that leads to. It really is an important film, notably because it is a historically, some would say historically accurate. Some would say that there are some plot holes in there. There are some missing things, but I mean, it shows the power of a small handful of people motivated enough in order to be able to move mountains. And in the hands of Tom Hanks, this role is perfection. It's a great film, and I would say an important film, even though knowing in hindsight, it's a sadly important film. All right, Carrie, over to you, your watch pick.
I am watching arguably my favorite of a franchise that I know is near and dear to your heart. And you talked about growing up and watching Flash Gordon. Oh! But growing up, you were probably flipping the channels from Flash Gordon to Transformers. And I am picking my favorite of the Autobots, and that is Bumblebee.
Fair. I was about to go like, whoa. Transformers is like their race. You can't, but Bumblebee qualifies. So yes.
Right. I
had my pitchfork ready to go.
I know.
I was about to be like Captain Geek and go, you can't pick them. but you picked Bumblebee, so you win.
Fair, because you know what? Bumblebee is just, I mean, aside from being my favorite of the Autobots, I love the original yellow Beetle.
Volkswagen Bug, yep.
Yeah, Volkswagen Beetle. Damn you, Michael Bay. What the making him a like a Ford
Bumblebee. That's not Bumblebee, that's Bumblebee, but go on.
But you know what? I love this movie, and I love that they brought it back to his original shape. And I love the dynamic between
Haley Steinfeld.
Yes. Oh my God. Between the characters, like Bumblebee was just so fun. And you know what? I would love to have a transforming Bumblebee vehicle myself, but I would make it blue because I like blue cars.
I need to put this out there. Every film that I have seen Haley Steinfeld in, now I haven't seen all her films, but every film I have seen her in is a great film. She's a fantastic actress, right? Obviously, Bumblebee. Like, she made Bumblebee such a good film. This is the one time only ever will I say that a live action Transformers film gave us a human that actually mattered. Haley Steinfeld did that.
What Wiki? He doesn't matter?
Shia LaBeouf. No. No.
Megan Fox? No.
No. Just no. And not say hi to your mother for me, Mark Wahlberg. No. Haley Steinfeld, the list starts and ends there.
Okay,
That's
but John Cena was in this too.
I was going to say, John Cena has the best single line of dialogue from any Transformers film. They're literally called Decepticons. Does no one think this is a bad idea?
But again, another movie where he starts very militant and very serious and very immovable and winds up completely turning around.
Yeah. I was going to say, I loved her in Ender's Game. I thought she killed it in that role. I love that book series. Everyone killed it in Ender's Game. But also, we're talking about Kate Bishop. Kate freaking Bishop here. Haley Steinfeld absolutely slays every time she's on the screen. And yeah, it is arguably the best live action Transformers film of all time. I am looking forward to Transformers G.I. Joe and that eventual crossover that's coming. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Please don't suck. All right. Over to you, your pass pick?
I'm passing on not a person, but an animal. I'm going to pass on the movie Babe because, you know what? Seeing a talking pig character makes me feel bad every time I order bacon on my cheeseburger. You know what? It's just so cute that it makes me want to turn vegetarian, and I like ham, and I like bacon, and I don't want to think of how adorable our talking friend Babe is when I eat meat. And you know what? I would probably feel the same if, it was a talking cow or a talking chicken. La 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 lava, chicken.
No,
it's different.
No, you stop right there.
It's different.
No.
When they're made of blocks.
No.
And it becomes less
I will
real.
eat the pig, I will eat the cow, and I will eat the chicken, and I will put it all in one big poutine. Call it a day. You, however, and I don't know if this is official yet. I may have to go back and do the research. You may have just picked the highest rated pass movie of this entire show. And we're getting close to our 90th episode. We're closing in on episode 100 of Keep Watch Pass. That's how many shows we've done. At 97% tomatometer, and you're passing on it.
Yes.
Fascinating. I am fascinated. I thought I was going to have the highest rated pass film of all time. And again, not official. I haven't done the research. I'm just kind of spitting off here off the cuff because my pass is Forrest Gump.
Ooh.
Sitting at 75%. And I say this because,
wow.
Yeah, I find this movie boring.
But life is like a box of chocolates.
No.
Oh my God.
No,
This movie was so good.
No, it wasn't.
Lieutenant Dan.
Jenny is a horrible character.
Okay, well, yes.
Jenny is an absolutely horrible character. And the thing is, I don't feel bad for Forrest because I recognize that I recognize that he truly does love Jenny, regardless of all her flaws and all that. And that's an admirable thing. But I don't care who you are or how intelligent or not you are. Read the room. Jenny's not a good character.
Okay, but Forrest, sees through so much in his life.
No.
And it's such a great story.
No. No, it's not. It is the most unbelievable story out there. And I recognize that it's based on the novel by Winston Groom, but holy crap.
Tom Hanks, don't feel bad. You were brilliant.
I love Tom Hanks. I think he's a fantastic actor. I cannot stand this film. If ever there was a film that is Oscar bait, this is literally someone finding the most Oscar baity film, putting together the most Oscar baity cast, and casting that reel, saying, I'm going to get me an Oscar. Nah, it bores me.
I can't believe this.
I'm sorry. I'm speaking truth here, but I find this film boring. It is. But then again, most Oscar-worthy films, I can't get behind because they meander in melodrama.
Okay, but you can't even say that this movie was predictable because it brought you through.
It was only predictable if you read the book.
Many different. Wow.
But the thing is it was just one unbelievable thing after another, after another, after another, after another. Like the whole premise is that Forrest achieved everything good because he can run. Really? The scene where he's running Lieutenant Dan away from the explosions and the napalm dropping and all that, I'm like, this looks so bad. It does. Gary Sinise is Gary Siniseing like he does. I don't even like shrimp.
Wow.
Like, and I say this knowing that the film is well done, but generally, I'm not a fan of Oscar films. And this is definitely an Oscar film. I don't like films that come off preachy or pretentious. And this is just meh. It's not my cup of tea. And if this is your favorite movie, dear listeners, all the power to you. Don't ever let anything that any podcaster says influence you in any other way. I'm just telling you that if you throw a party and everyone's going to sit around and eat popcorn and watch Forrest Gump, I'm going to be washing my hair that day. All right, Carrie, before we go, please remind our listeners who are now really angrily looking at their stereos going, you, don't you be talking about my Forrest that way. You better run. Sorry, Internet.
Those were the thoughts in my head right now.
I said what I said. Remind our listeners what your keep, watch, and past picks are for movies with a character name in the title.
I am keeping Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I'm watching Bumblebee, and I am passing on you, babe. No, I'm passing on babe.
I said what I said about Forrest.
And that's for the Forrest Gump hate. No.
Carrie, let me tell you about my movies, Carrie. I am keeping Flash Gordon. I am watching Charlie Wilson's War, and I'm passing. I am running from Forrest Gump. Carrie, thank you so much for this. And to you, our dear listeners, well, you guys know the drill. Please don't throw hate mail at me at our social media at Not That Badcast or on our website at notthatbadcast.com. But while you are there, please drop us a line because you know what? We do love to hear from you. Even if it's just to say that you freaking love Forrest Gump, I fully support your love of any movie, no matter what I think.
And hit that like button because I want my shirt.
That's right.
Very Carrie movie.
100 likes across all social media at Not That Badcast for this episode post, and we will put the Very Carrie movie t-shirt on our merch store.
Also, I want to see my name on a shirt spelled right because there's only like 5 ways of spelling it.
Right. And right now, everyone has spelled it wrong. So if you want to find out the right way to spell it, you got to like this post. All right. She's Carrie. I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel, a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.